Hi, my name is Wendy Kleyla, and I'm the figure coach. We're going to come to you and teach you everything that you need to know about figure competitions and what that means. We're going to teach you about posing, hair, makeup, posing suits, diet, and of course, workout. Now, 2 years ago, I never even thought that I would be competing. That was just a glimpse. I did weigh over 190 pounds, and my size, let's say a size 22. I currently wear below a size 2, and I weigh 110 pounds. Is it worth it? Yeah, it is worth it. So we're going to teach you everything that you need to know so that you can go on stage and be the winner that you are. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Julie Green, and I'm the figure coach. Get ready to learn everything you need to know about being a figure competitor.
Hi, I'm Debbie Kruck, your figure coach, and I'm here to teach you everything you needed to know about dieting and training for figure competitions.
Hi, I'm Dan Burke. I'm the figure coach. We made this DVD to help you become a success in figure competition. We're going to teach you how to train, how to pose, and how to diet to be very, very successful. Are you ready? Let's get started. Crank it out.
And the winner of the overall figure
in the 2005 Debbie Kruck Classic, overall figure winner is
number 23, Melody. We're going to talk about figure competition, and we love competing, and here's why.
Right, there's nothing more motivating than competing. It's okay to diet and exercise and train right, but when you really have a goal, it makes you stick to it and do the best that you can do.
What I really liked about competing, what hooked me into it was getting into shape. That was really important, but the people that I met at the competition and the camaraderie, and you learned more things about dieting and training and different techniques, and that really did it for me. It was also not being at the show, well, the people at the show, but getting through the journey to get there.
Right. It's so motivating when you know you're going to be on stage in front of tons of people to stick to what you planned out to do. I would never be in the shape that I've been in for competition if it weren't for that competition goal. So it really is a motivator for me, and it makes it so much more exciting.
What I really liked is the people that were in the audience were my friends, and they saw me when I was out of shape and before I was in the competition, and then they saw me on stage, and they were the only ones that could appreciate what it took to get there. So it motivated them as well.
Right, it's so exciting, and we're going to teach you all about what you can do to get into that kind of shape. Most of us, when we talk about getting in shape, are faced with just one thing, and that's losing body fat.
Figure isn't a once-a-year contest, it's a lifestyle.
That's right, so we're going to need to incorporate several things into our lifestyle in order to reduce our body fat. That includes cardio, weight training, and also a clean diet.
It's all these elements that are key in losing body fat. There's no getting around it. You're going to have to do all these things. The NPC, the National Physique Committee, sanctions bodybuilding, fitness, and figure competitions in the United States. So when you go to your first competition, expect to pay a fee to join the NPC.
And also expect to pay an entry fee into the competition so that you're reimbursing the promoter for putting on the show. Both amateur and professional figure competitions consist of two shows. There's a morning show and a night show. In the morning, that's called prejudging, and in the prejudging competition, you're actually being judged at that point. There are 2 rounds in the prejudging. The first is your 2-piece swimsuit round, and that's when you're going to do your posing and your turns, and then you're also going to do the same thing in your 1-piece round. You're judged in both of those, and then those 2 scores are combined to give you a total score.
During the prejudging, that's when all the judging is done, so that's when you want to be your best. The evening show, you get to do your individual presentation. That's when you get to have fun, get to see your family, have a good time, get to eat afterwards. And if you win your class, then you compete with the other class winners for the overall. When the judges are judging you, they're really looking at your symmetry, your muscle tone, and your proportion.
That's right. When you come on stage, you want to come in the best shape that you are. And that's not a real big bodybuilder look, but it's a fit, firm, feminine look.
Whether you're competing in the IFBB or the NPC, it all boils down to 4 mandatory poses.
Right, there's some subtle differences between the professionals and the amateur level, but it basically comes down to those 4 poses. So you really want to practice those and make sure you have them down pat.
I'm Wendy and I'm the figure coach. This is Amy Bates and she's also the figure coach. Today we're going to go over the 4 mandatory poses. Amy's going to demonstrate these poses for you. So Amy, go ahead into your front mandatory pose. As you can see, ladies, she has got her feet together and she's tightening every muscle from her feet all the way on up to her shoulders, making sure that her arms and hands are relaxed. Okay, Amy, go ahead and turn to your side pose. As you can notice that she is moving very gently. She is not walking around with her feet, she's pivoting softly. Okay, ladies, as she's setting up, you will notice that she's got her front leg slightly to the front. That shows the illusion of her two calf muscles. Also, she's pulled up very tight and tall, so that gives the illusion of her body being curved. Also, you'll notice that her arm is into the back. That shows that shelf on the chest area, where then that way the pec muscles do show all her hard work. Okay, Amy, go ahead and turn to your rear pose. As she's setting up to her rear pose, she pulls her hair up, and that allows her to show her back muscles. She's tightening up from her calves all the way up to her back, spreading out her lats. Again, all this is being pulled up from the shoulders. So she relaxes her arms and her hands, makes it look very easy. Okay, Amy, go ahead and turn to your next side pose. Okay, as you notice, she sweeps her hair around so that way it doesn't block anything that she's wanting to show. And again, she has this negative space right here, so that way it creates that negative space. She has that front leg slightly to the front, giving the illusion of her calf muscles. Okay, Amy, go ahead and into your front pose once again.
Swimsuits are a big part of figure competitions. A suit can make or break you.
If you find someone that can make an awesome suit that fits you and the color's right and the shape is right, it's as good as having the best hairdresser work on your hair.
Right, when you find something that works, stick with it, because that's a really important part of the competition.
The last week before a show, most people lose 5 to 8 pounds. Your suit has to be made to anticipate this weight loss. Number 1, never wear a suit too big. Number 2, never wear a suit too small. Number 3, your suit should center your chest. Number 4, suits need a high-cut bottom. Five, from behind your suit needs 2 things. Number 1, cut high up on the butt. Number 2, with a scoop at the low back. Tops should fit like this, about 1/4 of your chest showing.
When you're competing, there's certain jewelry that you can wear, and that's going to make you stand out and sparkle on stage. During the prejudging, which is in the morning, you can wear earrings, and also if you have a navel ring.
And then in the evening show, you can wear a bracelet or a little more decorative necklace. You don't want to wear a necklace that's going to overpower, like blind the judges. Although that would be a good way to, for them not to see the person that might be taken second.
Yeah, draw all the attention to yourself.
Yeah.
When you compete in a figure show, you have to have the right kind of shoes. You need the clear shoes, and they need to be anywhere from 2 to 4 inches.
You don't want to wear those big clunky platforms that you never practice walking in and make you look clumsy when you're on stage.
Right. And speaking of practicing, you need to practice in your shoes a lot before you go on. And we talked about that when we talked about posing. You need to practice with your shoes so you feel really comfortable in your walk.
And you might want to have someone there to watch you walk, because you might be thinking you're doing a really good job, and then they'll see and they'll be like, no you're not.
That's right. So it's important to practice, practice, practice.
Hi, we're going to talk about the back pose. The back pose is probably the most difficult pose for most people to do because it's hard to feel your back. You don't see it, you don't regularly use it. After you work out for a while, your back will develop a feel that you will be able to pose with. Amy, go ahead and do the back pose for me. Amy poses great. She has a real good feel for her body. She's an athlete, so she's been used to it. She has her arms in this position, negative space here, arms here. She's not overly flared, not like a cartoon. She looks very good and relaxed. It's not about being wide and huge, it's about being just like this. Her heels together, buttocks tense, back tense. She looks very, very good. If you have difficulty feeling this pose or learning it, here's the quickest and best way to learn it. You go ahead and you put your hands on your legs like this, and you spread your lats out. This allows you to get the feel of where your back is and allows you to control these muscles. You go ahead and stand up, and you keep your lats flared as you stand up. And now you're out, and now you kind of get that feel of what you're doing. If you have trouble feeling your back, which many of us do, just go ahead and put your arms in this position, and you will look fine. You don't want to do anything dramatic, nothing like this. Don't pull your shoulder blades back like that, nothing crazy like that. Do it just the way Amy's doing it, and you'll score great points. All right, go ahead and turn to the front. When you train, in between your lat exercises, such as rowing and lat pulls, go ahead and flex your back and stretch and learn to get the feel of using your back when you pose.
Okay, Amy, go ahead and turn to your rear pose. As she sets up for her rear pose, as you notice, you will see that she swooped her hair around. That is mandatory that you do that so that you can show your complete back. She is tightening her calf muscles all the way on up to her butt muscles. Then she's moving up to the back and her lats are spread, her shoulders are tight, but her arms are still remaining relaxed. Hi, I'm Wendy and I'm the figure coach.
And I'm Amy and I'm the figure coach.
Today we're going to talk about the side front pose. Okay, ladies, when we get on the stage and we're sitting there waiting for the judges to give our critiques to us as far as the judging, we're going to fall into the front side pose. Instead of going into direct mandatory front pose, which doesn't really look appeasing to anybody, we're going to go into our front side pose. This is how it looks. Okay, Amy, go ahead and do our front side pose for everybody. Okay, as you notice, we are all on a T shape looking to the judges, and we have our arm, this arm, pulled back just a little bit so that we can show our bicep and triceps. Now, the other side is on our hip, and we're slightly in a twist. As you notice, we are in an S shape, which gives that angle, and it just gives us that added look that we want to give to our judges. Now remember, ladies, when they are handing out our awards, you want to definitely stand in this pose. You do not want to stand in your front pose. You just don't look as appeasing to the eye, and you want to give your best foot forward.
presentation at night is a moment for you to express yourself. You have a lot more freedom. You've already been judged. You can go out there and have fun. So go out there and show your best poses to really accentuate your body.
Make sure you practice before the competition, and this will be a really great experience for you. And your friends and family will be out there cheering you on, so give it your best.
Figure open is number 23, Wendy Kleyla.
Hi, my name is Amy and I'm the figure coach. We're going to go over the individual presentation for the night show. This is your time to shine, so give it everything you got. This is what you worked hard for. So I'm going to go over my individual presentation. When I walk out, I give my front pose, side pose, the back, and really nail it on your final pose. Really confident, head up high, and then give a final wave to everyone. Hi, I'm Amy, the figure coach.
And I'm Wendy, the figure coach.
And today we're going to talk about the different styles of posing for NPC amateur and the professional land posing. Okay, so we're going to go through the different ones of those right now. For the NPC amateur, this would be your front mandatory pose, hands straight down. Now we're going to go into the side pose. Again, notice we are straight ahead. Head stays straight, everything straight, arms down. Now the back pose.
Okay, as Amy is doing the back pose, she is still straight on. She has got her hands way out, and her hands don't look dainty-like. Okay, we're going to go right into our side pose.
Again, it's straight on. No turning, twisting. And back to the front pose.
Tanning is a big part of figure competitions. There are several steps that you need to follow in order to achieve that nice golden bronze look for stage. You really cannot be too dark, right?
Never. The one mistake people make is they don't get a good solid base tan.
That's right. You need to be going to the tanning bed at least a couple weeks out from a show to get an all-over tan and have no white areas.
Then about 3 to 4 days before the show, you want to put on Pro Tan, which makes your skin really tight and makes you really dark.
That's right. And I like to pour the protein into a bowl and use the sponge that way instead of spraying it.
I like, yeah, dipping it they call. So you just dip it on your skin and then it soaks in, and then you just have to sleep in it overnight and then get up and do it again.
Right, and you want to sleep in some old sheets or some old clothes because you might get some protein in the bed, but then you'll wake up in the morning and rinse it off, and then the day of the show you probably can touch it up with another coat, and then when you get there you can also use what they call dream tan.
Also, they might have a person doing the spray tan. They have Jan Tana and things like that, and the people will spray you. But if you're dependent on that, you want to call and make sure there is going to be somebody and that you make an appointment ahead of time, otherwise you'll be stuck.
Right, and I like to walk in feeling prepared, so I always make sure I at least have 1 or 2 coats of protein on before I get there. And also I carry along my Dream Tan, and it adds a little extra sheen and a lot more color for right before you go onto stage. When you're at a show, it's a good idea to get totally prepared for stage. The first thing you want to do is lightly spray yourself with Pam. That sounds funny, like you're cooking yourself, but it really works.
And it's non-fattening too. And then what you want to do is make sure you pump up. Sometimes they'll have weights backstage, but good luck trying to get one because they usually have 5 weights and then 20 girls. So what I like to do is bring the elastic bands and then pump up with those. You want to make sure you got a good pump, and so you'll be glistening and all looking your best.
That's right. You're also going to want to use Bikini Bite because you don't want your suit riding up, right?
No, we only want them to see what we want them to see.
Exactly. So when you get ready to go out on stage, what you do is you move your suit slightly to the side and then you roll on what they call Bikini Bite, and then you flatten your suit out over that.
Number 25, Jennifer Bessel.
Now we're going to talk about the professional style of posing, which has more interpretation and more personality. Okay, so for the front pose, now we're going to do the side pose. Now notice how we are twisting our body just a little bit, opening up the chest, head up high, chin up, self-confident. Okay, now we're going to go into the back pose.
Okay, as Amy is setting up for her back pose, she sweeps her hair around. She has her arms slightly to the side, and her legs are all the way tight from the calves all the way to the shoulders. She looks relaxed. We're going to go right into the next side pose.
Okay, now again, notice how everything's flexed, opening up the chest. This arm comes out a little bit more to give that opening, and your feet are a little bit, the front foot is a little bit pivoted forward to give the illusion of your calves. And you always look straight ahead on your side poses. So now we're going to go to the front pose. Again, very graceful. Notice our hands are really relaxed and pointed. And there you have it.
It's important to practice your posing, and you want to practice far ahead from the competition. Like 2 or 3 months out from a competition, you want to be practicing in your heels and your suit at least 2 or 3 times a week.
You also want to make sure that you have somebody there to watch you and tell you if you're doing a good job or not. Because sometimes you think you look really good, and then if no one's there, then you come out on stage and it wasn't what you quite thought.
Right, so you want to practice in front of the mirror also, and you can also videotape yourself. Make sure you're looking okay.
Just remember to practice.
Right, now let's look at a few ways not to practice posing.
Oh my gosh, that's a good example of what not to do.
Right, now we see the importance of practicing. You really have to practice your posing. When you get close to show, you want to practice every day, the last couple of weeks at least. Let's look at the right way to pose.
The most important thing about your makeup on stage is that it's theatrical.
Right, you want it very dramatic and you want it to show up even if the person's sitting way back in the audience.
And what about false eyelashes?
Oh, those add a lot of drama and can really make your eyes pop. And make sure the color of your face matches your body as well.
If it's your first time competing, you might want to consult a makeup artist and have her there that evening for the night show.
Hi, this is Dan Burke. I'm the figure coach.
Hi, I'm Wendy Kleyla, and I'm the figure coach.
We're here today with Amy Bates, a tall class competitor at the All-South in Florida. Amy, we saw you compete today and you were fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Very good. How long have you been competing?
Actually, this is my third competition, so not very long. I started training in the summertime to get ready for my first competition, which was in Tampa. It was the Hurricane Bay, and I had a blast doing it. I thought I'd try one competition first, see if I like it, and then the next competition was 2 weeks away, so I'm like, well, let's do it. I'm ready. I've been dieting so hard for it, and I'm going to go ahead and do that back to back. And then I had to do one more, which is St. Augustine, this one, because it's near my hometown. And my folks came out and some friends from my hometown.
So obviously you've been athletic, because this body doesn't happen overnight, not since the summer.
I love sports. I play volleyball and softball, so I've always been, with an athletic family. My sister and my brother are all athletic, so.
How old are you now?
I'm 31.
Do you train at a professional gym?
Yes, I do.
Very good. Do you have a trainer?
Yes.
Great. Now, do you have anybody besides your trainer? Do you have a food nutritionist or someone helps you with posing? Do you have any other specialists that lurk around?
Actually, my trainer did all that. He helped me he took actually a lot of his own time to help me with stage presence, posing, gave me a diet to work with, and we actually timed it, because you have to time it just right when to diet. So we started dieting 2 weeks before the competition, and then really that 1 week of really serious, hard dieting.
Tell me what that 1 week of entails as far as eating.
Oh, Monday and Tuesday, you deplete your body of carbs, so you're eating just all protein, so a lot of chicken every couple hours. It's 7 meals a day, so just a lot of chicken. Then Wednesday and Thursday, you start putting carbs back in your body. So you have you have like 6 ounces of chicken in the morning at 8 a.m. Then a couple hours later, you'll have 2/3 cup of rice. A couple hours later, a cup of rice, and you keep going with the rice. And then the next day, it's the same thing, a lot of rice. Then the treat comes, which that's what I love, because when you get closer to the competition, you put the fat back into your body, and also you dehydrate yourself. So Thursday, you have a half gallon of water. Friday is a pint of water before 2 p.m., and then no water for the rest of the time. But then you're getting to eat, like Friday night, you get a big steak and sweet potato and broccoli, a little bit of wine.
That Friday night meal is great.
Yes, it is. Everything tastes so good because you haven't had it in so long. So it's like the best steak and the best wine, and then the next day you get to treat yourself with some sugar. So, because your body hasn't had sugar for so long. So you get some chocolate. Like I was supposed to have a piece of chocolate cake at 9:30 this morning. So that was a big treat, and sip on Coke. So.
No, you are a very, very beautiful woman. You have a
Thank you
very
very much.
feminine appearance. You are the right thing that I think figure should be.
Thank you.
I see bodybuilders disguised as figure people sneaking out there. It's not the look. I don't think people want to look like that. Now, as far as your eating, you dieted for 2 weeks. Wendy's been dieting for 2 years. I've been dieting for 8 months, haven't seen any food. So obviously, you are perhaps a genetically gifted person. I'm going to put it a different way. You are thinner, getting bigger. Is that what you are, as opposed to a fat lady getting small?
That's correct.
You are building yourself up. Okay?
Right. I'm trying to actually gain a little bit more size, stay feminine still, because I want to keep the softness, but get a little bit more thickness so I'm not coming across on stage too skinny. Because I tend to lean out really fast. So with my dieting, it's very critical that I diet at the exact right time, so I don't come out there too ripped, too lean, which could be against me, because they want a little bit of fullness.
Hi, it's Dan. We're back.
Okay, so we talked about your diet. Now, how do you train? When do you train? How much cardio and how much weight do you train?
I train Monday, Wednesday, Friday for about an hour and a half. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, Saturdays, I work on my posing for about an hour, and it's just critiquing over and over. You want to look very prepared when you go out on stage. Cardio, okay, most of the time I'm doing weights when I'm in training with the trainer. He'll mix it up. I'll do a lot of jump roping, which is great cardio. I'll do 45 minutes in the morning time when I wake up, a half hour at night before I go to bed. That's just about every night.
Of cardio? And this skipping rope?
Yes.
Wow.
I love it. It's so
Joe
much fun.
Frazier.
It's so much
I would
fun.
love to have a video of that. We may get that, folks. I have to see that.
I have a clip of me doing it because I like to do the fancy jump roping and crisscross. And
That's
Way
pretty interesting,
cool.
guys.
it's so much fun. It's better than running because you can just mix it up. I put on the music real loud in my garage and I just go at it.
That's the first time I've ever come across
Yeah.
this. This is fascinating. Okay, that's great.
So jump roping. Add it to your cardio, guys.
Now, lifting weights, each body part 3 times a week or twice, or how am I hearing that?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but he'll mix it up. Like I'll do upper body one day, lower body the next day. Before this competition, I was really trying to focus on my legs and my lats and shoulders, bringing them out more. Because I have it's called swimmer shoulders, where you're very narrow on top. So I was trying to really focus on bringing them out. So he was mixing it up and doing, a couple arms, and then we'll jump on legs, let my arms rest, jump on legs a little bit, and doing the whole body each day.
Fabulous. Fabulous. What's the hardest thing for you about the whole thing? What's difficult? Did the diet and the training? You love it all? One of those maniacs that can't get enough?
Actually, I love the dieting was hard at first. It was hard to an adjustment because everything's bland. You don't use salt, nothing, and you know exactly what you're eating. But when I did like 2 competitions, did the dieting. The first competition I was really hard with the dieting. Like I was like, I can't do this, But you just have to get over that hump because on this third competition, my trainer said, okay, you're really lean right now. You don't need to diet. So take a week and just eat normal. And then I was lost because I didn't want to, I felt guilty and I didn't want to screw up how my body was looking, and I was afraid to eat the bread, the pasta, just normal. And I'm like, man, I kind of like the diet because I know exactly what time I'm going to eat, what I'm
What
eating.
you're eating, yeah.
And
That's
it's just
so important.
So I was like,
I know you feel lost when you leave your schedule. It's very true. All right, we'll be right back. Now, your grooming is fantastic. Your suit's fantastic. You picked the right suit. One thing I do is Amanda knows when people line up, I always go, that suit should have been adjusted this way, wrong cut for this. It's just something you do, like a checklist. Your suit fit right. Doesn't happen by mistake. People usually go through several suits before they find their suit. Tell me about how you got yours.
there's a place in Tampa that I went to, and I tried on a couple different suits, and I was just really happy with the blue and the red.
Suits you, or those people?
Suits you.
Oh, there you
Sure.
go.
That's who we use. They're fabulous people.
Yes.
So pretty much they were able to nail your body type and make the
They
right
were
suit
very
for you.
helpful, yes.
As we've often discussed on this tape, having the right seamstress is like having the right hair cutting person.
Most definitely.
It makes a big difference. Wrong suit, big loser. As I always say, you had the right suit. So very good. So is this your first suits? I guess so. You went through
These
3
are,
times? A
I-
major investment like buying a car sometimes.
yeah, they were kind of expensive. But I'm actually thinking about getting a different one-piece suit for next year.
We're always thinking about buying new suits, aren't we, girls? Yes, we
Time
are.
to shop, girls.
Any excuse.
That's it, any excuse.
Your grooming is wonderful. You told me you were a professional model and a fitness person already. So do you do this yourself? Has someone taught you how to do your makeup?
The first show I had a lady do my makeup. I did my hair. The second and third show, I kind of watched what she did, and you just really want to be a little bit more dramatic.
Theatrical
because
makeup.
you are on stage, and you want it to show up a little bit more, but still be natural because it's fitness. So you don't want to be, there's a fine line, so you don't want to be overly dramatic, but a little bit heavier than normal, your normal wear.
Absolutely. Now, as a figure competitor, I'm kind of interested in your training. I want to go back to that again. As you're training, are you getting stronger and stronger? Are you doing reps, or how are you approaching it?
Yes. It's so
Yes,
funny.
I do it all. Yes. Reps, high reps, everything. I do it all.
I'm getting a lot stronger. My legs, I'm up to 195 leg extensions. The leg press, I'm over 500. And I'll go on there. It's funny because I'll go on there and train. Somebody else, another guy will be working on the machine. I'll say, can I jump in there? And they assume that I'm going to take all this weight off. And I just jump in and kind of do that.
Oh, that's a great story.
Or I do like the overhead press with 35 pounds, and there'll be a guy next to me doing like 25s. And I'll kind of like sit right next to him and, kind of it kind of challenges
the
me.
ego crusher. All right, so she lives to humiliate men in the gym. I think I'm starting to get it.
It is great.
It's challenging to myself to push out the 12 reps. So if I see him, then, kind of motivates me. All right, I'm going to get these,
Absolutely. And just since the summer, you've really seriously been lifting weights.
Yes.
So we're talking about 5 months.
Yes.
Wow.
I've always been going to the gym, every day, but kind of doing my own thing. Never really had a trainer. And the trainer in there, he's always Curtis McGee. He's excellent. He's put 150% into helping me out.
Fabulous. Curtis, good job.
Awesome job.
I want to ask you another question. What is your plan for figure? Are you just using it as an excuse to get into shape like most of us do, or you think you may go on to become a pro, or what's your plan?
I'm definitely I want to get my pro card, and I'm going to take some time off now, let my body rest a little bit, because I've been doing hard training since the summertime, so I think I just need to rest for a little while, maybe take 3 or 4 months off, and then find out what the schedule is for next year, and do at least 3 national qualifiers and get my pro card. And I want to go all the way to the Arnold Classic. That's what my goals are.
Fabulous. Have you gone and watched professional shows?
Not yet. I've always gotten Oxygen magazines, and I love that magazine. It's very inspiring. And
We advertise in Oxygen, so we love it too.
all right.
And I happen to be in it, so.
Awesome.
Yes, there was an article about you.
One of
and I
my
was-
goals.
How did that skip my mind?
I don't know. September issue, guys.
That's awesome.
Very, very cool.
When you're strict dieting, you want to eat about 100 grams of carbs a day. On your training day, you want to have 200 grams of carbs.
Some examples of the carbs that you can eat are fruit, or any type of fruit, and it could be 1 or 2 servings of that fruit. And also you can have vegetables. The dark green leafy vegetables are great, or also things like sweet potatoes, or really any vegetable, and also things like rice.
100 to 200 grams of carbs a day, 100 to 130 grams of protein.
Let's talk about how much protein we need. Generally, you want to eat 1 gram for every pound that you want to weigh. For example, if you want to weigh 120 pounds, you would eat 120 grams of protein per day. And protein can include a variety of things. You can use whey, chicken breast, fish, egg whites, and there's even lean beef. There's a variety of things that you can do. When you're training for a figure competition, it's important that you eat right. So you need to eat at least every 3 hours to keep your metabolism going and your blood sugar levels stable.
It's a good idea to get up in the morning and take all the little Tupperwares with your meals and then have them all prepared so you'll be, ready for action during the day.
That's exactly right. That's what I do. I have a full-time job. I have a son. I have my training. So I don't have time to cook 7 times a day. So what I do is prepare everything ahead of time and have it pre-measured in my little Tupperware containers and take those with me. I keep a cooler in my car even.
That's what everybody tries to do, and you're actually doing it. Plus, when you're on the road, you can't, grab something at 7-Eleven that's going to be healthy for you. You want to make sure you're prepared and have the meals that you need to be eating throughout the day to keep your blood sugar levels up.
Right, so there's no excuse for not eating right. It's hard to know where to start when you're talking about your competition diet. We recommend starting around 1,500 calories. Now, make sure you write down everything in your diet journal so that you know where you are. Then you can look back and see, am I gaining weight? Am I losing weight? Am I going toward my goal? And then you can adjust your diet from there.
Almost as important as what you do eat is what you shouldn't eat, and that would be processed foods, simple sugars, candies, pies, cakes, fried foods, all that good stuff.
Right, all the white stuff,
All the
the
stuff,
sugar,
right.
the flour, anything that's been processed. You want to stick to your natural foods.
around 1,500 calories a day to begin, 4 carbs and 4 proteins. Never starve yourself or skip meals. Never go below 1,200 calories a day.
Your competition diet basically consists of 4 proteins and 4 carbohydrates a day. Your protein can include chicken breast, fish, egg whites, things like that. And your carbohydrates could be any fruit, vegetables, or like sweet potatoes, rice, that kind of thing.
So rule of thumb is 4 proteins, 4 carbs a day.
Number 34, Julie Green.
competition right now. And so I do 2 times a day, 30 minutes of cardio. Usually I'll do the bike riding or the elliptical behind me.
Next, you're going to learn the basics on weight training. From the very beginning, when you first walk into the gym, into the advanced exercises that you'll be doing before competition.
That's right, we're going to show you how to do each move and what you need to do to train. Most athletes train in a yearly cycle. We typically spend 2 to 3 months working on some of our weaker body parts and not being as detailed about our diet. And then we get more serious. We typically spend about 9 months preparing for a show with the workouts and a strict diet. When we talk about training, there's so many questions that we have. How many sets? How often do we do it? How many reps? What order do I do it in? What body parts? We've put together some great routines for you to take a look at.
at. Wendy's going to take us through a full body workout.
The purpose of training is not to train yourself into the ground, beat yourself up, or get hurt. The purpose of training is to exercise yourself and be progressive. What we mean by the word progressive is do a little more each time you work out.
Every time you go into the gym, you need to challenge yourself and do either a little bit more weight or slightly more reps.
When you first begin to work out, use light weights and warm up. Later, once you are warmed up, move on to your heavy weights. Heavy weights are weights that are so heavy you can only do 5 to 8 repetitions with them. Light weights are weights that allow you to do 12 to 15 repetitions. The idea is definitely to train hard, but do not strain yourself or push to failure. Just try to do a little more each time you work out. On most exercises, you will start with several light sets to warm up. As you become hot, you increase the weight and then perform your heavy or progressive sets. Once you are very warmed up from your training, you can skip or do minimal warm-up sets and go directly into your progressive or heavy sets.
So Wendy, you train heavy, we see.
Yes, I'm there.
The goal is to get stronger.
Goals get very strong. No pain, no gain.
After I'm warmed up, I skip my warm-up sets and go directly into my heavy sets.
Split your training into two parts. There's the dieting down part, and then there's the muscle gaining part. After you've gotten lean, you want to go ahead and stop the cardio, but continue with your weight training so that you're building muscle, and continue to eat clean as well.
Then you'll look your best and you'll thank yourself because you won't have to do all that extra work to try to get back into shape.
Hi, I'm Dan, I'm the figure coach.
And I'm Debbie, your figure coach.
We're going to talk about training for figure competition. Most people overly complicate their training, but it's really easy. All you have to do is go to the gym and work out.
And actually train, not just talk.
That's right. How you split your training is really up to you. Many people divide their training into yearly cycles. They have a period of months where they might want to build up or slim down, and a period of months where they actually prepare for the contest. Now, your training may be different at those times, but it's basically the same. As you get closer and closer to a show, you may split your training differently, you may train more often, you may do different things, but basically it's the same routine. There are many ways to split your training. You could train upper body one day, lower body the next. You could train each body part one day a week, do like a 5-day routine on each body part. Most people train each body part once or twice a week. Now I know you have some specific advice on training. Let's hear it.
Okay, well, when I train, a lot of it depends on time too. A lot of my clients, they can only come in 3 times a week, or I want to come in every day. And you can always adjust the workouts to their schedule or what they want to, what they can do.
Absolutely. Your workouts are going to be driven by your lifestyle. If you're very busy, you're not going to be able to work out as much. If you lie on the beach all day, you'll have more time. It all depends on what your lifestyle is. A lot of people, though, think they have to be chained to the gym to be successful. It's not true. If you did a basic routine and were consistent with it and lifted progressively over a period of time, which means you did more reps or more weight over a period of time, you would improve. If you can do each body part at least once a week, hard, with consistency, you will make great improvement.
You want to stimulate the muscle, and you also if you're getting ready for a competition, you want to make sure that you've trained everything at least once a week.
Absolutely. As you get closer to a show, most people train each body part twice a week. They do more repetitions, more isolation movements, trying to bring in contours and definition as opposed to actually building up. I think that the high reps do work a little bit, the higher sets. You don't have to do a lot more volume, but I think that before a show, it couldn't hurt to do a little bit more.
And some people, the way their body structure is, might on certain body parts have to do more strength training rather than a lot of reps on those body parts too.
That's absolutely true.
Structure.
Strength is fullness to your muscles. People, if you do a lot of reps with light weights, you get smaller and stringier. If you lift a heavier weight, keep your muscles full and strong, they will look different. Proportion is the key on anything as far as figure, bodybuilding, those kind of sports. So you may have a weak part, like your buttocks or your arms or something. You may actually find yourself doing that body part more often, more frequently, with more exercises and more intensity, just to make it even with the rest of you. So if you naturally have great shoulders, don't work them as much. Focus on your weak points.
Routine that we recommend is doing upper body and then resting 2 or 3 days and doing lower body. And then as you become more advanced, that can split up even more. Still, you would do 1 day with upper body. In the morning time, you would do your upper body with weights, and then at night you would work out with the resistance bands. And then 2 or 3 days later, again you would do lower body, in the morning doing the weights, and then at night using the bands.
I also do bands at night. So if I'm doing legs on leg weights during the day, then I will follow that up with a band training on legs that evening. What I like about band training is the bands provide an intense contraction. They separate and define my muscles. In just a couple of weeks of training with bands, your muscles will look different.
Abs respond great to short and intense workouts. You can do abs 1 or 2 or even 3 times a day, short little 5 to 10 minute training sessions. Really tighten up the abs fast.
The important thing is when you get lean for competition, you want to stay lean and then train lean.
That's right. You work so hard training for a competition and losing all that body fat through your diet and your cardio and your weight training. So why blow it all with a so-called off-season where you get fat?
A common mistake that girls make after competition is they'll start stuffing their face with like chocolate and peanut butter. That's what I used to do. And then you get fat, and then you have to get all that off the rest of the year. But if you stay lean and train lean, you'll look twice as good next time you compete.
Right. When you get lean for a competition and lose weight, sometimes you lose muscle too. That's a given fact. But if you're lean already and then you start working out with weights, or you continue with your weights and maybe cut back a little on your cardio but keep sticking to your diet, then your muscles will fill back out. You have muscle memory, and it'll fill back out and make you really tight.
You look great. The most important thing I noticed when I first started training, and well, before even competing, was that I felt more confident about myself. I liked how I looked or how I was changing, and I was able to share it with other people, and that's what keeps me going.
And I get a feeling of control. I'm in more
Oh,
control of my
definitely.
life, and so I feel like I can be successful in every area of my life through that confidence that you were talking about. As I build myself up on the outside, I also am building myself up on the inside.
Also, you know, if you make a mistake, if you fell off the wagon on dieting, you know the keys to losing weight, and you can jump back on that wagon, and there's no getting around doing the cardio and doing the weight training. There's no secrets. So if you just stick with those things and be consistent, you'll be successful.
We're trying to share all those secrets with you because the main secret is just being consistent and knowing that you can do it and sticking to it.
It's scary to compete at first. You don't know how you're going to look and how people are going to react to you. But once you get into the dieting and the training and the cardio, and you say, hey, I've done all this work, I want to show people what I can do, then you kind of get in that mode and you're not as afraid anymore.
Right. I remember being petrified when I first started competing, and I was so scared to walk out onto that stage. But then I thought, you know, one day I'm going to look back and tell my kids and my grandkids, I did that, and I'm going to have the pictures to prove it. So I just got out there and challenged myself and felt so much better for doing that.
Every day we're in the gym and we see people who have a goal and they achieve their goal, they totally change. Their personality changes. They actually start dressing different, and they start doing things they hadn't done before. They might go outside and go surfing or something, and they hadn't done it in years, or they'll have those clothes that they always wanted to fit into, and then they feel real confident.
I think that happens to all of us, or at least some of us. I felt like I was such a dork in high school, but now as I work out and take care of myself, I've gained a lot of confidence and feel like I can go out there and just be an outgoing person that I wasn't before.
Pre-contest training advice. Do slightly more reps. Train each body part 2 times a week. Less rest time between sets. Pose and flex your muscles often. Routine 1. Train 2 days a week. Train 2 times on each training day. Routine 2. Train 4 days a week. Train 2 times on each training day. If you are super busy, train when you can. All training works. It's better to train 2 or 3 times a day and then rest a day than it is to train every day. Do not train every day with weights.
It doesn't matter whether you train light or heavy. The important thing is that you're making progress. That's why it's important to keep a training journal so you can tell where you're progressing. You either want to work on increasing your sets or your reps or your weight, but you can alter it up. You don't always have to go in and do your max every time you're in the gym. You want to challenge the muscle, but in different ways.
And you don't know where you're at unless you're writing it down, so it's very important that you write your workouts down and the number of sets and reps and how you feel that day.
Right, and I base my training on how I feel as well. Some days I'll go light and I'll increase my reps, and then other days I'll try to go a little heavier and lower my reps. It all depends on where I am.
And sometimes you're ruled by how much time you have to spend in the gym, so you might have to do something really quick and get in and get out. And other days you might have time to try new things and do different types of workouts. So it all varies, but just important, remember to write it down.
Right, and be consistent in your training. It's important to break your workout training into a yearly cycle. For example, you might want to spend 2 or 3 months working on your weak areas and then a full 9 months training for your show. But you'll find that the closer you get toward a show, you'll probably train more frequently. Usually I like to hit my body parts twice a week at that point and then do cardio more often. Towards the end, I usually do it daily, if not twice a day.
And you can change your routine as much as you want. Just make sure you train.
The next routine we're going to look at is a more advanced routine. This is more of a pre-competition routine that has a lot more exercises for you. Let's watch Amy while she demonstrates.
Always keep in mind that weight training builds muscle and cardio exercise burns fat. Do gentle cardio exercise every day to get in your best, leanest condition. butt lifts are a fantastic exercise. You can do them every day. Build up to high repetitions. You can do sets of 25 repetitions, 50 repetitions, and 75. Go as high as you can handle. Calves respond best from high repetitions and reps that contain deep stretches and full contractions. On every single rep, stretch for a full second or two till you feel it deep in your calves. Then contract, go way up on your tiptoes, and hold that for a second or two as well.
Cardio is what burns the fat off your body. We recommend doing cardio twice a day.
Right, when you're getting ready for a show, you really need to burn all the fat that you can. So you can do it twice a day. You can even do it in the morning and then later again at night.
Some people closer to the show even do it 3 times a day.
Wow, that's dedication.
When doing lat pulls, lay back about 20 degrees. Pull the bar to the center of your chest. Take a medium width grip that allows you to use as much weight as you can. Rowing is a great exercise. It doesn't matter if you use machines or dumbbells or bands. Just be sure to row every time you work out and do upper body. Your shoulders are a key area to how you're going to look visually on stage. You need round, beautiful shoulders. One of the best things to do for that look is reverse fly movements, either with bands, machines, or with dumbbells. By working your back deltoids, it'll make your entire shoulder look round.
shown you a lot of great workouts, a lot of different routines for you to do, exercises, strategies, ideas. Now it's time for you to get out there and do it.
If that doesn't motivate you to get in the gym, I don't know what will. Who knows, maybe next year you guys will be on stage, or maybe you'll be the next figure coach.
And we're going to be looking for you at our next show.
We've shown you a bunch of exercises. You don't have to do all the exercises to get a great routine. Just pick 1 or 2 exercises and stick with it, and you'll get results.
Find the ones that you like, and you can always mix it up. You don't have to stick with the same thing, and you don't have to make your routine very complicated. For a couple months, I might train on machines.
For a couple months, I might train with weights.
And then I might go back to resistance bands. It's all up to you. Mixing up your routine can be great. You're hitting your body parts at different angles, and you're also breaking up the boredom.
You're also hitting, every time you change your workout, you're hitting your muscles in a different way, so they're going to respond.
Right, you need to challenge yourself so that you'll get the results that you want.
Figure competition is about being a beautiful woman. It's not about being the most cut. It's not about being the most muscular. That's bodybuilding. And we want to encourage you as figure athletes to build your body as a woman. If anyone tries to come along and tell you you need to get a whole lot bigger or a whole lot more ripped or a whole lot more of this, I would be very suspicious of what they're telling me. A lot of trainers are ex-bodybuilders, and they themselves are confused as to what they're actually teaching. Sometimes in our excitement to do well, we overdo things. If you find yourself excessively dieting or starving yourself when getting ready for a figure contest, don't do it. You want your muscles to be full and you want to be healthy and feel strong. Eat a lot of good nutritious food every day so you can train hard and long and burn the fat off through exercise and not through starving yourself. People don't want women to look like men. It's not really generally accepted by the public, and we've seen what happened to women's bodybuilding. Pretty much it's over at this point. Figure is taking over. I think that's why we see many of the bodybuilder girls now slipping into figure outfits and entering figure shows. The problem is, unless they seriously downsize their muscle, cut back on perhaps many things that they're doing to look that way, that's not figure.
No, it's not figure. And unfortunately, the judges are not really judging on those criteria yet.
That's true. You'll see many times at the state level or local level where the judges are basically judging the show as a bodybuilding show. The biggest and most ripped girls win the figure contests.
That's right. And you know, it doesn't matter whether you win or you lose or who got the trophy or whatever. You need to try and do your personal best.
You're right, Wendy. Figure, just like other sports, is just a way to express your own individuality. The most important lesson to remember is whenever you compete, just go out there and do your best, have fun, and if you can, try to make a new friend, because that may be the best thing that you ever take away from a competition.
lot of information on that. And we can't stress enough how important posing is and how important it is to practice. As you can see, you can be out on stage for a very long time and need to hold your pose for extended periods of time. And also you want to realize that all eyes are on you the entire time you're on stage. Even when someone else is center stage doing their turns, you need to be realizing that people are watching you as well, and you need to keep your muscles tight and your face relaxed and smiling the entire time. So again, you need to practice, practice, practice.
That's right, and while one competitor is out on the stage presenting herself, sometimes another judge could be looking at you because they think it's close, and if they see her at her best and you're just kind of like, okay, no one's looking at me now, and you're all lax, you could be, messing it up for yourself.
Right, that can make or break it. So you really need to hold your pose, make sure you look your best, present your best every second you're on the stage, even when you're walking off the stage. Make sure you practice so you're prepared to do that for an extended period of time. I really wanted to start competing when I saw it on TV. I saw a fitness competition on there and I thought, hey, I could do that, and that would give me a goal to work toward. So I just started training on my own and eventually went to a competition.
I keep competing, just as I've said before, it's important to have a goal. You're never in shape unless you're training for something. You're in shape, but it's a different type of being in shape than it is for competition. So if you have that goal where you have to be extremely trained and extremely dieted down, and then just see where you're at amongst everyone else. You want to see, how you look or what areas you need to work on, and just to be sharp.
Right. I always want to challenge myself, so it's nice for me to be able to set that goal of an actual competition where I know I'm going to be in front of my friends and my family and other people that I don't even know, and I'm going to be on stage performing. So I try to look my best for that. It just brings your training to a next level.
That, and also, like we said before, you meet new people. I would have never met you if I hadn't been involved in everything. And there's a lot of good things to it, and you just have to do it one time, and then you get hooked like we did.
That's right.
When I started, I was a size 14 and 180 pounds, and I never dreamed that I'd be on stage, or actually even in a bikini, let alone being on stage in one, or any of the stuff that I'm doing now. So when they hear my story and they realize, hey, if she can do it, maybe I can do it. And that helps, inspire a lot of people to get motivated.
Right. And it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. You can make the time into your schedule for yourself and achieve your own personal goals, because it'll make you more successful in every area of your life when you feel good about yourself.
That's right. And when you feel good about yourself, you're able to do more for other people. So it's a good thing.
It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is where you finish.
So finish fabulous.
We hope our instruction will help you to become a success in future figure competitions. Good luck, God bless, and always reach for the stars.
This is Dan. Remember, ignore negative people and ideas. You can do it.